ActionSA has unveiled Dr. Mbahare Johannes Kekana as the deputy president of the party. Party President Herman Mashaba described the moment as the start of a new era. Mashaba says his decision not to participate at the National Assembly is already bearing fruits. When he announced the decision in June 2024, he said he needed to focus on growing his party. Dr. Kekana is the former president of Forum for Service Delivery. ActionSA, Bosa, Rise, Mzansi and the Good Party are already exploring cooperation talks ahead of the 2026 local government elections. The ActionSA leadership has addressed the media on the steps of the party is taking on the realignment of politics. Now, to unpack this further, let's bring in political analyst Bongani Mahlangu. Bongani, a very good afternoon to you, and thank you so much for your time and your patience this afternoon. Perhaps let's get your reaction then, firstly, on the decision by ActionSA to join forces with Forum for Service Delivery. I mean, Mashaba saying earlier on that this was a natural first choice for his party. While we know that the Forum for Service Delivery is not represented, in Parliament, it seems this decision was largely based on its performance in the previous two local government elections. But just your thoughts on this.
No, thanks. Greetings, Unati, and also greetings to the viewers at home. So just to start there, for Herman to say it was a natural first choice, I'm not sure, because if you would have listened from the speech read by the former president of Forum for Service Delivery, it is him who said he approached ActionSA and not the other way around.
Yeah.
However, it is true, as far as national representation is concerned, Forum for Service Delivery isn't that strong. If you look at it, they struggled to get about 5,000 votes for any province that they contested for. And they largely contested in your rural provinces. But when it comes to actually local government, they do have quite a strong and consistent representation on their ability to infiltrate the rural demographic and geographics. That is why even from the breakdown that was given with regards to 2021 local government achievements, I mean, you have 38 councillors, 8 MMCs, an executive mayor there, some section 79 on section 80, according to the Structures Act, of course, Municipal Structures Act chairpersons, support of 42,000, present in 5 provinces, meaning they are in municipalities in 5 provinces. So that is quite good. And also considering that this is an organization that did not have much in terms of resources, did not have a strong brand, or a brand that gets much media attention, especially your major media platforms and so forth. So they've been doing well over the years. They also have a student wing as well, which has been represented and probably is still represented in some TVET colleges. And you would know we have about 54 or so TVET colleges, and they've been represented. And also they have a stronger presence in the Northwest, interestingly. So that is, those are rural provinces, and that is where normally ActionSA tends to struggle, especially in local government. I mean, if you look at 2021, they would have struggled to find expression in rural provinces or rural municipalities. And this is where Forum finds existence. So I think the partnership will then benefit both. And from what they've presented, there seems to be a lot of work that has been taking place behind the scenes. I mean, they talk about structural adjustments, systematic adjustments. They spoke about policy adjustments with regards to a constitution to accommodate or to bring about a position of DP. So that tells you that a lot of work has been done, and also how they plan to phase in some things as well, like the existing councillors of Forum for Service Delivery will hold on to their membership in order to ensure their eligibility as far as the local, the municipalities that they exist in. But then 2026, things will then change. So you can see that this is a phased-in approach. But also, just generally speaking, it's not also for the first time that one organization, political organization, actually joined another. I mean, you would remember in 1989, the PFP also merged with the National Democratic Movement to form the Democratic Party. In 2010, the Independent Democrat, led by Patricia de Lille, merged with the DA. You would also remember that I think it merged with the DA 20, and also they faced in their approach as well. And then the Democratic Party as well merged with the new National Party to form the DA itself. So this has been happening for years in terms of the political history that we have, or political organizational history that we have. So this happening now, it's also a development, yes, and it's welcomed. It reduces the ballot box, and it also increases both parties' reach. And I think they would perform better than they would have if there was two separate entities.
And I
next year.
Just looking at, developments that we are likely to expect next year, and we look at the political landscape. Straight after the national and provincial government elections, we saw the formation, of course, of the Government of National Unity, and before that, the makeup of the Progressive Caucus. What does the formation comprising of ActionSA, Bosa, Rise Mzansi, and the Good Party, you did mention earlier on, Patricia de Lille, what does that formation bring in terms of a unified force ahead of the 2026 local government elections? I mean, collectively, the parties currently hold about 14 parliamentary seats combined.
Yeah, so if you look at it, that is by and large a coalition of DA breakaways. So those are individuals that would have led and would have been members of the DA. So as far as ideology is concerned, they are not too far apart. And I actually went into the funders from what has been voluntarily disclosed. Generally, not each and every funder for each and every quarter that has been tracked, it's the same people. But you find that there is one person that appears maybe in quarter one, quarter two, in terms of what they've disclosed with regards to funding. So they have generally the same funders. Also, as I said, ideological, they agree, the funders, they agree, the politics, their approach and what they want to change, how they want to change it, when they want to change it. So they're not far apart. But obviously, they want to hold on to their positions in the organizations that they are in. Hence, they have not matched as what ActionSA has done now with Forum for Service Delivery. But they are forming another kind of coalition or another kind of clique, like the multi-party charter. In fact, there's been a push for a very long time as to why don't these organizations just become one instead of becoming separate entities? Because if you look into their target demography as well, it's the black middle class, they are urban organizations and so forth. So there's really nothing that differentiates these parties except their logos and other things. But they are more alike than they are different. So I think it makes sense for them to come together, and probably they will work together and they will achieve some things. Because if you look into the elections that we held last year, as so much as we're going to local government elections next year, most of them, if they go at it alone as different entities, they're not going to really do well. They'll even struggle just to get a councillor, like what we have seen with ActionSA, who was there in 2021. So now coming together, and also with this merger of Forum for Service Delivery into ActionSA, I think they would have again performed better than they would have if they were different entities next year.
Just talking about next year, we know, of course, in the 2021 elections, voter turnout fell below 45%. Just how pivotal will the 2026 local government elections be, especially when you look at how significantly the dynamic of the political landscape has changed in the May 29, 2024 election?
So if we look in terms of voter turnout effort, it has been on a downward spiral for quite some time now. And for it maybe to improve or to adjust upwards, subject to what politicians do between now and then, and maybe between 2029 May up until the next election, it would be based on the maturity of these politicians. Because another thing that turns voters away is the immaturity of politics, the immaturity of politicians in South Africa. I can make even one citation. The reason why ActionSA even pulled out of Johannesburg, pulled out of Tshwane, was because it felt betrayed. So the leader, the individual, which was Herman Mashaba, felt betrayed by DA, because the DA was basically playing politics, bring your enemy close, demobilize your enemy, make him become irrelevant, and he loses votes. And that's what they did. It's just politics. But he thought, I don't know, maybe he's running a corporate or something where people actually stick to what they say. So now, because of his anger, because of his emotions, he decided to then pull out. But yes, it has been a good development, because now they're moving in the direction that they're in. But one thing that turns people away is just the immaturity of politicians and politics in this country. And also, of course, it's significant when it comes to service delivery not being there as well, and people not seeing that there'll be any hope, even if they do participate in these electoral exercises. But if those things change between now and then, and so far we are seeing good developments as the one we are talking about, so it can spike a little bit in terms of the turnout, at least it may at least go up, small but significant, or remain largely the same. So it's all subject to the behavior of these individuals in the political space.
Bongani, thank you so much for your analysis. Really do appreciate it. Bongani Mahlangu there for us, political analyst, just weighing in on developments as it relates to ActionSA and the political landscape as a whole.